God bless each and every one of you. I hope you're having a wonderful afternoon. Today is Friday, the 19th day of April. It is 2019. Today I want to talk about something a little bit different, not too far different than what I usually do. But I want to speak, I want to read something from a pamphlet that was written by a gentleman who is no longer with us. He was an absolute prophet, an absolute wonderful man of God. His name was David Wilkerson. He passed away some years ago, I believe in an automobile accident. But to give you a little background, just a smidgen, he wrote a book many years ago called The Cross and the Switchblade, and he also was instrumental in founding Teen Challenge. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Teen Challenge, but basically what they did was back in the late 60s, early 70s is when it really, came to fruition. They would take teenagers that were at risk of going to prison or were on drugs, alcohol, violent gang members. These were teens. That's why they called the organization Teen Challenge, and they would take them out of the environment. It was that or go to jail in most cases. It used to be sort of like, they don't do it anymore, but back in the 60s and 50s, I guess, too, and 60s and 70s, if you had committed a crime and you were a young person, it wasn't something like murder or something along them lines, but, it was something that you were easily could receive jail time. They gave you a choice to go to jail or go in the military. Sort of something like that along the lines where they were given at-risk teens, usually gang members is a lot what they worked with, but they also worked with teenagers that were, drug addicted, alcohol addicted, drug and alcohol addicted, or just basically straight up criminals. They were getting into consistent or constant trouble, and they would take these youths and they would take them out of the cities that they came from, and they would put them on a farm. And there was different ones, I believe, but the main one was the farm. They called it the farm. And, you do a good day's work, and they basically showed you that you did not have to lead a life of crime or lead a life of drugs and alcohol or a gang life, that God was there for you, that you could change. And they worked with these teenagers through various ways. Wonderful, wonderful program with an absolutely very high success rate. This is the gentleman, David Wilkerson, that started this Teen Challenge, and that's him right there. And he also, like I said, wrote that book that was very popular called The Cross and the Switchblade. But I want to read something to you by him. It's titled God's Most Severe Signature Judgment on America is Yet to Come. Bear with me, it's not that long. Let's see what David Wilkerson had to say on this subject. It goes as follows. What do you think this severe judgment will be? I think of how America is trampling underfoot all that is moral, holy, and godly. I want to stop there for 1 minute. This was written in 2007, I believe. Yes, the very end, December 17th, 2007. So we're going back some 12 years, okay, from now. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It is much, much worse. I mean, it really is. But anyways, I go on. Christ's name is routinely trampled in theaters and movie houses where the sacred is mocked and the profane is exalted. Did a video on this not long ago about Hollywood mocking Christ. Remember, this was 12 years ago. And humble followers of Jesus are coming under intense persecution and mockery. Tell me, what signature judgment will be cut from this same bolt of cloth? What punishment fits the crime? Here's what I see as God's signature judgment on America, which for years has been the #1 superpower, the mightiest nation in the world. I will bring down their strength to the earth. Isaiah 63:6. God will humble this nation's military might, bankrupt our theaters, and confuse our educational institutions, bringing down all of our former strengths. One quick side note I want to talk about real quick. You know Hollywood, the filth that they put out. They glorify Satan. They have TV shows about the devil on television. I'm not even talking about the movies. And one other quick side note. We see what our school systems are about today. They are brainwashing and are indoctrinating our youth into socialism and or communism, putting down America at every single turn that they can, burning the flag, mocking the anthem. This, I believe, in 2007, we're seeing this now in 2019, what he is speaking of when he talks about our educational institutions. Very prophetic. Today, 30 million babies have been murdered by abortionists. That is now up to 49.5 million. 2007, we were at 30. We've almost, not quite doubled, but almost did 20 million more in 12 years. It's just incredible. There is awful blood on our nation's hands. Do you think God is going to wink at that? No, he is just God, and he will make America weep because of all the blood spilled. Again, talking about abortion. And now it's worse than ever with late term. It's incredible. How? Already I see murderers spilling blood on our streets and in our schools. 2007, only had a couple school shootings at that time. Look how many we've had just in the last 4 or 5 years. It's incredible. Our strength is ebbing fast. Our economic power has weakened, with the euro, the pound, and the Japanese yen all surpassing the dollar in strength. That is true. I've traveled abroad a lot, especially through Europe. The dollar is not worth as much as the euro. In a lot of cases, it's worth considerably less. Meanwhile, China and the European Union are growing in power. I believe the European nations, the kingdoms of the revived Roman Empire, will rise up as the #1 world power, becoming the power base of the Antichrist. Many believe that the Antichrist will come from the Roman Catholic Church. We already see the Pope saying that the Muslims, the Buddhists, the Taoists, all of them worship the same God as Christianity. And we know that that is not true. We know that's bordering on blasphemy, but we're already seeing this. This man wrote this in 2007. God is exposing our nakedness to the world. He's causing our external appearance to match the state of our soul, and our spiritual bankruptcy is being turned into financial disarray. He is bringing signature judgments on us so clear that no other nation in the world could mistake them. As these judgments take place before our very eyes, our only answer is to have Jesus as our shield. But sadly, America is turning its back on Christ like never before. Sad. We are to run to meet him in the secret closet of prayer and let our roots go down deep into him. We have to know that he who has numbered the hairs on our head will keep us in all circumstances. I urge you to take hold of these special promises in readiness for any and all calamities we may face. Unto the upright there ariseth light in the darkness. He shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid. That is Psalm 112. And he shall judge the world in righteousness. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for thou, the Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek thee. Psalms chapter 9, 8 through 10. Finally, here is your specific, all-powerful, holy argument for the throne room of God. Though a host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise up against me, in this I will be confident. One thing I have desired of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord, and to inquire in his temple. For in time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion, and the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me upon a rock. Psalm 27, verses 3 through 5. My friends, it is very, very short. There's more to this than what I've read, but this is the part that I wanted to read about America. I find it so absolutely alarming. I mean, this man definitely was a wonderful, wonderful servant of Christ. He's in heaven right now, this very moment in time. But to think that this was wrote in December of 2007, talking about our educational systems, talking about our judicial systems, talking about America having abortions at the rate that's unbelievable. We just recently seen this past January the late-term abortion bill passing in New York and being on the docket in other states to be voted on. You know what? He's right. America does have blood on its hands, and now we have blood almost to the tune of 50 million abortions. That's 50 million, almost 50 million murdered children. And he's right. If you think God is not going to hold America accountable for such terrible things, then you are sadly mistaken. If you get a chance, this is called World Challenge Pulpit Series by David Wilkerson. This is the December 17th, 2007 issue. It says here he delivered this message at Times Square Church in New York City on that specific date, I imagine. Anyways, if you get a chance, I'm sure you can pick this up right on the internet. I'm sure you can go to David Wilkerson Ministries and probably just read this right along on their website, and or you can probably order it from David Wilkerson. I'm sure back issues of all types of things can be ordered from all of those websites. Anyways, yeah, very prophetic. Very, very prophetic. Okay, that's all I got for you today. Take care of yourself. God bless each and every one of you. And remember, Easter's coming up. If you get a chance, please go to church on Sunday and show the Lord that you appreciate all He's done for you. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Thank you to my subscribers, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.